Hello, hello. We are making something savory tonight in the kitchen, and I'm going to promise you 5 minutes, all you need, super easy stuff here. You are going to need a couple of ingredients, but most of you have all of these on hand right now. This is loosely based on my simple marinara, but we just are doing a low FODMAP diet right now in our family, so no onions and no garlic, but we can do garlic oil. So you'll see some changes in this recipe, but make sure to just check out bitesofwellness.com, type in simple marinara if you want to get the regular super simple easy recipe, but this one's even easier. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're having a great night. Listen, I know sometimes it is so hard to get dinner on the table, and excuses are everywhere. I don't have time. I just don't like that. Listen, every kid likes pasta. Every kid likes spaghetti. And I know sometimes it's easy to just grab that jar and throw it in, but there are ways that you can make a healthy, nutritious meal without all the added salts and fructose corn syrup and all that stuff. And that's making it at home. It's not going to take you more than 5 minutes. Heat up your pan. We're going to make some zoodles. You could boil up some water for some noodles as well if you wanted to for the kiddos or yourself. But we're going to get right into this. So I already told you guys that we're making a little bit of modifications. My one modification is that we're going to use garlic oil instead of garlic powder because we can use oil. So if you're low FODMAP, hey, what's up? I'm learning your lifestyle. It's hard, y'all. I would say learning new things is really difficult, so find easy recipes and stick to them in the beginning. I'm going to do about a tablespoon or so of this oil. If you wanted to chop up an entire onion, you would saute it in that oil, but we're not going to do any onions because low FODMAP. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's the doctors making us do it. So, all right, second thing we're going to do. Here is my tip. Top tip. You've probably heard this before if you followed me for a while. If you haven't, the easiest way to get canned tomatoes or jarred tomatoes, I'm going to add a whole can of crushed with basil. There's no garlic in here. Step back, it's hot. So pretty much the only ingredients in here are basil and tomato and a little bit of sea salt. So good there. And then I'm going to add a jar of tomatoes because I didn't have 2 cans. This is going to be enough to make sure that we have, I'm probably not going to be able to open this, to make sure we have some for leftovers too. Dave might have to help me here. Do you have a Dave in your life? All these muscles and I can't do it. Okay, Dave's helping me. I'm just going to go on with this. 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. So the balsamic is that key that I was telling you about, how to make any canned or jarred tomato taste really like it's been cooking for a while and like it's a homemade sauce, is to add some balsamic vinegar. I always try to remind you guys, I know if you've followed me for a while, you're probably tired of hearing this, but some balsamic vinegars have unnecessary either sugars or caramel color in them. So I do want you to just turn over your, next time you're at the grocery store and you're trying to figure out which balsamic to get, turn it over and read the ingredients. And then we're just going to spice this up like you would any other. So I'm going to do about a tablespoon of dried basil. I know it seems like a lot, but there's going to be a lot of sauce here, so that'll be good. And then I'm going to do about a teaspoon of thyme. You could do rosemary, you could do whatever your favorite flavors are, but I'm just going to throw that. Dave opened this for me, so we're going to add this as well. And just a heads up, guys, the jarred stuff tends to be a little bit more watery for whatever reason, so mixing them together actually isn't bad. Forgot my spoon. Alright, so you're going to let this cook together. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. You're just going to let this cook together in the pan, heat up, and then we're going to spiralize some zucchini. You can spiralize some yellow squash as well if you'd rather have that. Again, if you'd like to, you guys can throw on some hot water and boil some pasta. One of my favorite go-to for pasta lately has been to do the banza pasta or the lentil pasta. So lots of places, usually it's in like Most of the time it's in the same section as the regular pasta. I get mine on Thrive Market though, you guys. So bitesofwellness.com/Thrive Market. You'll get 25% off your first order. So that's heating up. I am going to get all this stuff out of the way. And we are going to spiralize zucchini or two. So 2 people, 2 zucchini. Did you guys ever hear my story about the zucchini? You have. Dave like hates the spiralizer. So this spiralizer is amazing. I'll make sure to link to it so that you guys can see it. It's called the Inspiralizer, but it's super easy to use and I really like it. But we used to zoodle a lot of zoodles when we had a cooking company, and after you do something so many times, you just don't want to do it anymore. So Dave does not use this anymore. So, super simple to use. You just spin, and depending on which, if I wasn't on a cooking board, this would be easier. But depending on which blade you use, so they have an A, B, C, or D, depends on how thick or thin your noodles are. So if you're not going to cook your noodles, you may want to make them a lot thinner, just so that they're easier to digest. I'm going to try to lock this down. But as you can see, it's super easy. I know it's so simple sometimes to just pick up the spiralized zucchini from like Whole Foods or the grocery store, but there's really not that much time that this takes, and you can save some money, get organic, all that stuff. So there's one, and you guys can see just how easy that is. Nice long zoodles. Kids love, if you can show them how you're making them, it may open their minds up to at least trying it. If you are going to give these to kids, I would recommend that you use the thinner blade though, just because this is a good amount of like veggie at once. But make another one, and then what you can do is once this comes up, just put your noodles, your spiralized noodles, in a bowl, and then pour the hot sauce over it, and it'll just cook it enough that it takes some of like that rawness out, but not so much that it gets like wilty and wimp. Because that's the one thing about spiralized noodles, the zucchini especially, is that they can go like really watery really fast. So I don't really cook them that often, especially if I have a hot sauce. So this has already been cooking. I didn't add any salt yet, so I need to do that. But that's it. That's all you have to do for this sauce. And again, the balsamic vinegar will really help take out that like canned like tang that usually you have to let it cook all day and blah blah blah. No, balsamic vinegar, y'all. So again, if this is something that's interesting to you, I have a fun challenge coming up in our Facebook community, and we're going to do spiralized veggies for pretty much the entire month of February. So I need you guys to make sure that you're signed up to be in our community. It's a Facebook community. I'll make sure to link to it. Or you can just go to our page and see the link groups and find it there as well. But it's just called Bites of Wellness Community. And again, in February, we're going to be doing a challenge the entire month on spiralized veggies. So you guys can, if you've never worked with a spiralizer, you can learn all sorts of different recipes, including zucchini, butternut squash, apples, sweet potatoes, all those things. So I really look forward to seeing you there, and I hope that if this was at all helpful, you share it with a friend, share it with a coworker, whoever you think might love 5-minute meals that are super simple and easy. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a good one.